Hi everyone, so I'm just going to go over the measures of center uh, classwork that was due this morning. Some of you struggled with a few things in this for this assignment. So in this case, a lot of you saw that this is for the first question. So first you watched the video and then you answered the question about the survey of the passwords of the 12 people, and you had to circle the median, so the middle number. So in this case, a lot of you were either confused, some of you knew the proper way to figure out the median because you saw that there were two middle numbers. So if we notice here, the numbers are in order of from least to greatest. So that's the first thing you need to keep in mind when you find the median. So just to take down some few notes, the first thing you want to write the numbers in order. Okay. So here they're all in order. So let's figure out the median. I like to kind of cross out from each side. So one here, and we go until we get to the middle numbers. Okay. Now if you notice here, we're stuck right in between 2 and 3. So that's exactly what our median is going to be. It's going to be the number right in between these two numbers. But if you're not sure exactly what number that is, what we do when we have two numbers is we take the average. So we're going to take 2 and 3. And how do we take the average? So we add them together and we divide by 2. So we're going to add 2 plus 3 together and divide by 2. So that becomes 5 divided by 2, which is 2.5. And if you notice, 2.5 is right in the middle between 2 and 3. So 2.5 in this case is going to be our median. So our median number is actually not in the set, but it is in between the two middle numbers. Okay, so let me just go through this. Again, to calculate the mean, you just add all of the numbers together and you just divide by how many numbers there are. Most of you did well with this. For this one, so students in Mr. Okafor's algebra class were trying to determine if people speed along a certain section of roadway. They collected speeds of 20 vehicles as displayed in the table below. So here, if you look at this table, they have the speed in the left-hand column, miles per hour, and in the right-hand column, they have the number of cars. So what this is saying is that one car went 29 miles per hour, 2 cars were going 33, and 4 cars were going 34 miles per hour, and so on, okay? So the next part asks you to find the mean and median for this data. So in order to find both, you have to write the speeds of all the cars. So that's what I did. So I wrote 129, 233s, 434s, and so on. And I listed all the speeds of all the cars. And I counted that there are 20 cars in total. Okay, so if we're going to calculate the mean, we have to add all this together and then divide by 20, which is the total amount of cars. So that's what I'm going to do here. 29 plus 33 plus 33 plus 34 plus 34. I might make a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 5, plus 36. So you guys can pause this and do this yourself. 39 plus 39 plus 54. And then I'm going to divide by 20. So I get that the average mean, so I got the total was 722, and I divide by that by the total amount of cars, which is 20. And I get that the average is 36 0.1, and it's miles per hour. So on average, all these cars are going about 36 miles per hour. Okay, so let's find the median. So I'm going to use a different color here. Let's use purple. And I'm going to do the same thing that we did before. I'm going to cross out on each end until I find the middle number. This makes me dizzy. Okay. So let's get to the middle here. So, did I do that right? So the median number you should get is 35. Okay, so let me just check if I did that correctly. So in order to check if you did that correctly, there should be the same amount of numbers to the left of the middle number and to the right. So I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 over here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did not do that correctly. So what that means is that there's two middle numbers here. So I'm going to erase this. So this is good because when you have a lot of numbers, you can make a mistake just like I did. It's actually not going to change our answer. But in this case, we actually have two middle numbers, which is 35. And so you take the average. So when you have two middle numbers, you take the average or the mean of it, whatever you like to say. So, and the average of 35 when you divide it by 2 is 35. So we were correct. Okay. And one last thing I wanted to mention. So an outlier is a value that looks like it doesn't belong in the set. So if you look at this little image here, most of the numbers are between like 1.5 and 5. And the outlier here would be considered 9.5 because it's far, considering where majority of the values are. So that's how you would figure out what an outlier is. So in this example about the class grades, most of you knew the outlier was 45. There were some of you who put the dot over the wrong answer, but just to review, 45 would be the outlier here because it is a lot lower than the rest of these numbers here. So, and here, if you wanted to calculate the median, which is really what most people struggled with, you would slash until you find the middle. Here again, you have to take the average. So 85 plus 87 over 2 would give you 86. So that would be your median here. And let's see. So one more thing I want to mention is that when you have an outlier, such as 45, it brings down the average. Okay, so this is the median. So let me find the average here. So let's find the mean. So I'm going to add all these numbers together. 45 plus 78 plus 2 plus 85 plus 87 plus 93 plus 95. And I'm going to divide by 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to divide by 8 because there are 8 grades. So the mean is 81.75. Okay, so if you notice, the mean is lower than 6 of the numbers in the data set. The only thing it's higher is 45 and 78. So since this mean is lower than majority of the numbers, it's not the best representative of the data set because this 45 drops that average down low. If we took away the 45, the mean would be a lot higher. Therefore, when you have an outlier, the median would be the better representative of the data because the median's 86. It's better representative of all the numbers from 78 to 95. Okay, so I'm just going to write this so you can write this in your notes. When you have an outlier, in your set, the median is a better representation of the data in your set. Okay, so you could pause this and take those notes because that's what the next question exactly asks you about. It says, which value, the mean or the median, is a better measure of how well the average student did in Mr. Petrovic's quiz? So like we said before, the median would be a better representative because most of the kids did well. Just this particular student who got the 45 brought that average down. Okay, now if you have any further questions about this lesson, please let me know for the exit slip. I know the star was kind of big, but majority of you got the correct answer. You just had to put all the numbers in order before you find the median, okay? So for example, you're gonna go in order. So the lowest number is 63. Then the next highest number is 67, then 68. And then we have 69. Then we have two 73s and a 75. Okay, and again, you would cross out until you get to the middle. And here you have one middle number, which is nice. And the answer is 69. Some of you put 75 because we didn't put the numbers in order. So make sure when you find the median, you're putting the numbers in order, okay? Any further questions, please send me an email and I'd be happy to help you. Have a great day, guys.